clearly in my spirit. And he said, Joyce, your life is what you make it. And I immediately put together a message because I knew exactly what God was telling me.
In a world full of confusion about right and wrong, it's more important than ever to seek clarity. In a shocking revelation, Joyce Meyer has dropped a bombshell about Joni Lamb that's got everyone talking. What she shared has left viewers stunned and questioning everything they thought they knew about the Daystar network. But here's the twist. Joni herself has a powerful message, one that could change the way you approach your day. You can have a miserable day if you want to, but you don't have to, she says. Stay tuned as we uncover the truth behind this explosive moment. Dramatic allegations against Daystar television network, a family conflict unfolds. In recent months, a major scandal has erupted within the family behind Daystar television network, a prominent Christian broadcasting empire with a global reach. The Dallas-based company, founded in 1993 by Marcus and Joni Lamb, has been rocked by allegations of cover-ups, threats, and a bitter family feud that has captivated both religious communities and the media. With an estimated yearly revenue of over $100 million, Daystar Television Network operates more than 100 television stations across the United States and has a worldwide presence, making it one of the most influential Christian broadcasting outlets in the world. It has become a beacon for many, featuring a wide range of well-known pastors, teachers, and spiritual leaders, such as Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Joyce Meyer, Andrew Womack, Paula White, and Jim Baer. However, recent reports have cast a dark shadow over the network's reputation. As the Lamb family has been thrust into the public eye due to a series of shocking allegations, many are questioning the true integrity of this Christian empire. At the heart of the controversy lies a series of painful accusations between the family members of Marcus and Joni Lamb, their children Jonathan and Susie Lamb, and Joey's new husband, Doug Weiss. As the dispute unfolds, it becomes apparent that the Lambs' faith-based mission and their vast broadcasting empire are intertwined with personal drama, conflicting ideologies, and allegations of abuse that could forever alter the course of their legacy. The foundation of Daystar Television Network. To fully understand the magnitude of the current scandal, it is essential to first examine the rise of Daystar Television Network. Founded in 1993 by Marcus and Joni Lamb, the network quickly grew from a small local station into a global Christian broadcasting powerhouse. With a mission to spread the gospel message worldwide, Daystar became home to some of the most influential Christian voices in modern broadcasting. Through its strategic partnerships with powerful religious figures and its growing reach, the Lambs created a media empire that transformed the way Christians engaged with faith-based programming. Their dedication to their mission was reflected in the network's rapid growth, which saw it expand beyond traditional television broadcasts to a significant digital presence, further broadening its influence. Yet, even as the network flourished, challenges loomed behind the scenes. The Lamb family's close-knit operation, while a strength, became the breeding ground for personal tensions, rivalries, and conflicting visions for the future. Over time, the personal lives of the family members began to intersect with their professional roles within Daystar, leading to a series of internal struggles that would ultimately lead to the public fallout that is now unfolding. A family torn apart, succession plans, and internal strife. As is often the case with powerful family-run empires, leadership transitions can trigger deep-seated conflicts, and the Lamb family was no exception. In 2021, tragedy struck the Lamb family when Marcus Lamb, the founder and CEO of Daystar Television Network, died at the age of 64 after contracting COVID-19. Marcus had long been the face of the network and a prominent figure in Christian media, known for his outspoken views on issues such as the pandemic and vaccines. His sudden passing left a void that seemed impossible to fill. In his final months, Marcus had reportedly chosen his son, Jonathan Lamb, to eventually take over the reins of the network, marking the next generation's leadership within Daystar. However, shortly before Marcus's death, in August 2021, a dramatic shift occurred in the family's succession plan. Instead of Jonathan, it was Joni Lamb, Marcus's widow, who was named the new president of Daystar. This decision led to a bitter and divisive rift within the family, particularly between Joy and her son Jonathan, who had hoped to step into his father's role. To make matters more complicated, Just 8 months after Marcus's passing, Joey became romantically involved with Doug Weiss, a sex therapist who had recently divorced his wife. This union sparked further controversy, as Jonathan and his wife, Joni Lamb, objected on biblical grounds to the marriage, which took place in June 2023. The tension within the Lamb family escalated quickly, with Jonathan and Susie publicly voicing their disapproval of Joy's relationship with Weiss. According to reports, Jonathan felt that his mother's actions, particularly her decision to marry so soon after his father's death, were inappropriate and inconsistent with their family values. Joey, on the other hand, defended her decision, expressing that Doug Weiss had been a great source of support for her and had become a blessing to both her and the broader Lamb family. As the conflict continued to fester, Jonathan's feelings of betrayal and resentment grew more pronounced, and a series of disturbing events would soon unfold, forcing the family's internal strife into the public eye. The allegations of blackmail and cover-up. The situation took a dramatic turn when Joni Lamb accused her son Jonathan of attempting to blackmail her in an effort to secure his own position as president of Daystar. According to Joey's public statement, Jonathan had sent her an email in which he threatened to expose damaging or embarrassing information about the family and the network unless his future role at DR was clearly defined. Joey responded to these threats by asserting that she would not be intimidated or coerced into making concessions, stating that she had nothing to hide. She further claimed that Jonathan had rejected her offer of formal mediation, leaving her with no choice but to speak out and defend her integrity. At the heart of Joey's statement was a call for transparency and unity, despite the turmoil within her family. She emphasized that her focus remained on fulfilling the mission of the network and sharing the love of Jesus, while acknowledging the need to combat the spiritual enemy who sought to destroy and divide her family. While Joey's words seemed to suggest a firm resolve in the face of these challenges, the underlying tension and unresolved grievances continued to weigh heavily on the Lambs, threatening to tear apart both their family and their ministry. In addition to the allegations of blackmail, another deeply troubling claim emerged, one involving accusations of sexual abuse within the family. Jonathan and Joni Lamb publicly stated that a close family member had sexually abused their 5-year-old daughter in the summer of 2021. According to the couple, Marcus and Joni Lamb allegedly tried to cover up the situation, choosing to protect the accused family member rather than pursue justice for the child. The Lambs' reported actions, including Joey's alleged insistence that the child's behavior had somehow provoked the abuse, caused further outrage and raised serious ethical and moral concerns about the network's leadership. Despite filing a police report, Jonathan and Joni Lamb stated that the investigation was closed after the young girl, traumatized by the events, was unable to speak about the incident. However, the couple later discovered that the claims of a forensic counselor clearing the accused family member were untrue, prompting them to push for the case to be reopened. These explosive allegations, coupled with Jonathan's public statements, put even more pressure on Daystar Television Network and its leadership, casting a shadow over the network's previously untarnished reputation. A family divided, public statements and threats of retaliation. As the family conflict intensified, Jonathan and Joni Lamb felt increasingly unsafe in their own home, claiming that they had been followed and threatened by unknown individuals. In November 2023, the couple posted a video from an undisclosed location in which they explained their decision to go public with the allegations and speak to investigative journalist Julie Ross. In the video, Jonathan and Susie expressed their belief that they had no other option but to bring the matter to light, citing the ongoing threats and harassment they had experienced. Joni Lamb, in turn, responded to these allegations by taking legal action to protect herself and her family. On November 27, 2023, Ross received a demand for a retraction of her article about the controversy, further escalating the tension between the Lambs and the journalists covering the story. As the story gained traction, more and more public figures began to weigh in, including prominent Christian leaders such as Joyce Meyer, who offered her perspective on the situation. Joyce Meyer's call for unity and transparency. Joyce Meyer, a highly respected Christian author and televangelist known for her powerful voice within the Christian community, addressed the controversy surrounding Joni Lamb and Daystar Television Network in a series of public statements. Meyer's comments emphasized the importance of unity, integrity, and transparency within Christian organizations, particularly when faced with serious allegations that threaten to erode trust and confidence among supporters. Meyer did not directly comment on the specifics of the Lamb family drama, but expressed her belief that the network could emerge stronger if it prioritized reconciliation and healing over division. Meyer called for greater accountability in Christian leadership, stressing the need for organizations like Dyer Television Network to manage donations and finances with integrity. She also encouraged open and honest dialogue within the Christian community, suggesting that moments of controversy could serve as opportunities for growth and reflection. Meyer's message resonated with many who felt that the issues surrounding Dyer's leadership, though deeply troubling, could ultimately lead to a stronger, more transparent organization. A history of controversy, echoes of the 7-year affair scandal. For those familiar with the history of Dyer Television Network, the current scandal may feel eerily reminiscent of past controversies. Over a decade ago, a scandal known as the 7-year affair rocked the network, involving accusations of extramarital affairs and cover-ups within the organization's leadership. The lingering memories of that scandal have only amplified the scrutiny on the Lamb family during the current crisis, as many question whether Dyer Television Network will ever recover its once sterling reputation. The combination of personal feuds, serious allegations, and internal conflicts has thrust Dyer Television Network into a crisis that threatens to unravel the empire Marcus and Joy Lamb built over 3 decades. With the eyes of the Christian community upon them, it remains to be seen how the Lamb family will resolve these challenges, and whether the network will continue to thrive or face irreparable damage. A troubling history of scandals. The Lambs, Marcus and Joni, have long been seen as the faces of Daystar. However, their personal lives have been marred by several controversies that have threatened the network's credibility. The most notable of these was a scandal in 2010 involving Marcus Lamb's extramarital affair. This affair, which lasted for 7 years, came to light during a fraud lawsuit filed by Jeanette Hawkins, a former marketing director at Daystar. The affair and its fallout. Hawkins presented damning evidence in the form of emails that revealed the affair between Marcus Lamb and a former employee. These emails contained explicit messages and outlined how ministry funds had been used to finance Lamb's extramarital relationships. The most shocking revelation was an email in which Marcus Lamb allegedly expressed his desire to marry his mistress, raising serious questions about his integrity and the management of the network's funds. The public revelation of this affair created a firestorm of controversy, as it contradicted the carefully crafted image of the Lambs as devout Christian leaders. In response to the affair's exposure, Marcus Lamb accused Hawkins and others of attempting to extort $7.5 million from the network to keep the affair quiet. However, an investigation by law enforcement officials found no evidence to support the extortion claims, leading many to believe that Marcus Lamb's assertion was a strategic attempt to shift the focus away from his infidelity and onto his accusers. This tactic not only failed to convince the public, but further tarnished the Lamb's credibility. Public apologies and attempts at redemption. In the wake of the affair's public exposure, Marcus and Joni Lamb appeared on television, including an interview with Dr. Phil, to address the scandal and attempt to salvage their marriage and ministry. During this interview, Joni Lamb acknowledged her husband's infidelity, but described it as an emotional relationship that had eventually turned inappropriate. While this public apology was intended to repair the couple's damaged reputation, many in the evangelical community felt that it fell short of providing the accountability needed for the Lambs to regain their credibility. Dr. Phil himself cautioned the Lambs against minimizing the affair by attributing it solely to spiritual forces, instead urging them to take responsibility for their actions. Despite their efforts to reconcile and rebuild their personal relationship, the affair left a permanent scar on the Lambs' public image and the reputation of Daystar. The fallout from this scandal led to lawsuits, including legal actions from former employees who alleged defamation and mistreatment. However, after years of legal battles, both sides ultimately chose to withdraw their lawsuits, opting for an out-of-court resolution. This decision was reportedly made out of a desire to follow New Testament teachings that discourage Christians from suing one another in secular courts. The lingering effects of the 2010 scandal While the legal and public fallout from the affair was eventually resolved, the damage to Daystar's reputation continued to reverberate throughout the Christian media landscape. Many supporters of the network remained loyal to the Lambs, believing that their personal struggles should not overshadow the broader mission of Daystar. However, others saw the affair as evidence of hypocrisy, particularly given the Lambs' status as prominent figures in the Christian media community. The scandal raised deeper questions about the ethical standards within Daystar's leadership. How could a network that preached Christian values, including the importance of integrity, allow such ethical lapses to go unchecked? For many, the affair and its aftermath served as a cautionary tale about the dangers of placing too much trust in charismatic leaders without sufficient oversight and accountability. The latest allegations, a deeper layer of controversy. The latest allegations against Daystar have added a new, even darker layer to the network's troubled history. In late 2023, Jonathan Lamb, the son of Marcus and Joni, and his wife Susie publicly accused Joni Lamb and the late Marcus Lamb of attempting to cover up the sexual abuse of their granddaughter. The accusations are particularly troubling, as they involve a deeply personal and sensitive issue: sexual abuse within the family. According to Jonathan and Susie Lamb, a family member sexually abused their daughter, who was only 5 years old at the time. The couple claims that despite their attempts to report the abuse to the authorities, the Lambs took steps to protect the alleged perpetrator, an unnamed male family member. Jonathan and Susie allege that Joni Lamb even blamed their daughter for the abuse, suggesting that she was somehow responsible for the trauma she experienced. This claim has shocked many, as it suggests a pattern of cover-ups that goes beyond the affair scandal and points to a troubling culture of silence and denial within the Lamb family and Daystar leadership. Joni Lamb's response to the allegations. Joni Lamb has vehemently denied the accusations and has taken legal action to defend herself and Daystar against what she describes as baseless claims. In a public statement, Joni Lamb suggested that Jonathan's objections to her remarriage to Doug Weiss, a sex therapist, had led to a deepening rift within the family. She claimed that Jonathan attempted to blackmail her into making him the president of Daystar, using threatening language in emails that suggested he would expose embarrassing personal details unless his demands were met. Joni Lamb further emphasized that she would not succumb to blackmail and that she was focusing on her ministry and the spiritual mission of Daystar. However, Jonathan and Susie Lamb have continued to speak out, alleging that their daughter's abuse was not properly addressed and that their efforts to involve the authorities were thwarted by the Lambs' protective stance toward the accused family member. This ongoing conflict has not only divided the Lamb family, but has also thrown the future of Daystar into uncertainty. The repercussions for Daystar's future. The allegations involving sexual abuse cover-ups are likely to have significant ramifications for Daystar Television Network. The network's audience, which has long been made up of evangelical Christians who place a high value on integrity and transparency in Christian leadership, is deeply divided over the issue. For some longtime viewers, the Lambs remain revered figures, and the network's spiritual message continues to resonate despite the scandals. These supporters argue that the Lambs' past mistakes should not overshadow the network's mission of spreading the message of faith, healing, and prosperity. However, for others, the latest allegations have shattered their trust in Daystar's leadership. The accusations of a cover-up involving sexual abuse have raised serious ethical concerns, leading many to question whether the Lambs are fit to lead the network moving forward. Social media has become a battleground for these differing opinions, with supporters and critics of the Lambs exchanging heated remarks about the future of Daystar. A possible path forward for Daystar. Despite the ongoing controversies, there may still be a path forward for Daystar, but it will require significant changes in leadership, transparency, and accountability. One potential route for recovery could involve a thorough investigation into the allegations, with Daystar taking responsibility for any wrongdoings that are uncovered. By acknowledging past mistakes, issuing a public apology, and committing to ethical leadership, Daystar could begin to rebuild its reputation with both supporters and critics alike. However, this process would not be without challenges. Rebuilding trust with the audience would require a concerted effort to demonstrate a genuine commitment to integrity, both in leadership and in financial management. Daystar may also need to consider changes in leadership, potentially bringing in new figures who can restore confidence in the network's mission. Alternatively, Daystar may attempt to weather the storm by relying on its loyal supporters to sustain its operations. If the network chooses this route, it will need to address the allegations head-on while focusing on its core message of faith and healing. While this approach may help maintain the network's financial stability, it may also perpetuate the divisions within its audience.